Das ist schon so eine Sache, ne? It's really the thing. The thing that we all have our own thing. I mean, we all look for relationships, of course, and where we are comfortable, where we love this one particular person. But also within our own families or within our friendships, you know, there are unspoken things. Where we are interpreted by others, where we are evaluated and judged, and we all go by our expectations of others. But that's really the thing. That's where we become a thing. Or where my thing, we compare my thing to your thing, and the thing is really the matter of how we are looking at the world, of our preferences, our expectations and evaluations and judgments, and where we're comparing ourselves to others and how we want them and need them to be. And I think that starts very early in life, because it's how we all grow up in this world, in this thing-oriented world where everything becomes a thing outside of us. Be it success, we look for that, or happiness, we look for that, or love, we look for that, or God even, we look for that, peace, freedom, all of that, we look for that. It becomes this thing, but the thing is really that it's not a thing, and that is really the point of kind ding, which really directly translated means nothing. Kind ding, no thing. But it's also an expression used by Germans to say that it's really not a problem. It's simple, it's easy, and that's really what life is like, actually. On a very basic level, where we all one. We all one people. It doesn't really matter if, my thing is my traditions here in Germany, or if I grew up in the United States, or as a Muslim, or as a fundamental Christian or an atheist. I mean, that thing only separates us from one another. But we're not separate. That's the illusion. Because we're all one. And really, real love can help us to understand that. That we are all more alike than we are different. Regardless of what your thing is, regardless of what your worldview is, or your preferences are, or life is not a thing. I am not a thing. And it's really kind ding to help us really to understand that I am not a thing, I am kind ding. Because you are basically just another version of me, and I'm just another version of you. And that's how it is for every person you ever meet in your entire life. Especially difficult people, people who irritate you, are here to remind you of that. They are your greatest teacher, because it's not really about them, whatever upsets you, whatever annoys you, whatever irritates you. They only point something within yourself to understand that that self which they represent, just like yourself, that real self that you represent, is really like a cell in that greater body of humanity, where all is one and one is all. And that is, in the truest sense, that's what God is all about. It's not about this spiritual thing outside of us that looks over us, and we need to worship this power and obey this entity, which interestingly enough is a connection between that, the religion, which requires us to submit ourselves, which also is like our government requires basically the same thing of us, to submit ourselves. But that is really keeping us really from understanding our true powers, our real powers, because we all are that. We are extremely powerful. All is energy, and we are pure energy. But because our energy has been used, so we just fulfill our function in this world, and then we are told that freedom lies outside of us. As we work hard, we can make a lot of money, and then we can buy ourselves things, and then we can live the good life, which we all aspire to. We all try to find that, really. But life is an art. Life is something to be learned. And that's not just something I'm saying, because that's something I'm learning for myself. And I realize how difficult that is. You know, because talking about that, realizing that, is really the first step to becoming aware of that. But then really the missing link is really the putting that into practice, the living that, which is about the actualization, which is about the practice, the practical. But the good news is we can practice that every day, every moment of our lives. And so hopefully in this video, and maybe if you've watched a previous video or even checked out the website, kinding.com, maybe I can help a little bit with that, to remind you of that now we can learn. Now we can better said, we can remember what we have forgotten. As children, we already know that. We already are that. We are free. We are now. But after we were thrown out of paradise and we became part of the sinful world, we learned to obey the rules and standards imposed onto us. And so we forgot, slowly but surely, over years and years of indoctrination and conditioning. We just learned to function in this world, and we learned to struggle for freedom, or fight for our freedom. And that's how we forget who we really are. And our true identity is not that which we have learned. It's not the story we are told. Because now actually is an opportunity for us to truly remember how magnificent we really are. How wondrous, how miraculous.